Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our Tuesday evening pickup eyes, our Tuesday evening mind healing service, right in starting the middle of the week. So this evening, we will share insights and indeed aha moments as we pursue that topic that nothing can stand in the way of the unlimited possibilities that is indeed embracing each one of us in every moment. But first, join me in an opening affirmative prayer. We acknowledge the only power and presence in our midst. Its wisdom and its intelligence that is indeed filling our minds with ideas for our highest good this evening. I know that we are open and we are receptive. Each person a channel of that most high God that created us out of itself and imbued us with its characteristics and its attributes, and is even now filling us with its love. So this evening, as we fellowship together and indeed look at the insights from indeed the sharings of each and every one, I know that we are uplifted, we are enlightened, and it is truly a great evening. So we just give thanks for that presence of love that continues to just encircle us with its light and its joy. This is a truth. I know that it is so. And so it is. But just for a few moments, just as we put away the events of the day, and we just pay attention to the breath, as we inhale peace and love. We exhale that quiet contentment, because we know that right where we are, all of God is. So in the silence of our hearts, for a few minutes, let us just allow our nervous system to just settle down. Let our minds just mull around that thought. I am a center of God consciousness. And so it is. Just gently open the eyes, bringing our awareness into the sacred space. So I say grand rising now to each and every person joining us this evening online and indeed on YouTube. The word comes into mind, serendipity, as a series of events took place that led me to a beneficial result, as my thoughts were centered on the context for my topic this evening. It started out by me visiting the book shop at Universal Center of Truth for Better Living, where I found the book, Think Your Troubles Away, by Dr. Ernest Holmes, which I bought. And as I opened the book, it fell into this chapter about your unlimited possibilities. The next event in that chain of goodwill, the reading of October 2nd from the book 365 Science of Mind by Dr. Holmes. And I'll read a part of it, the part that really stuck out for me. It says, "Today I walk in those ways of pleasantness, and no wind can blow my back astray. There is a divine authority at the center of my being that announces itself in every act." End of quote. No wind can blow my back astray. Now, in preparing the announcements last week, when it came to the item, the theme for Tuesday evening mind healing service, the sentence popped up in my mind again. But I couldn't remember all of it, so I called Carol Charlton, who I know who have another book just like mine. And she said, "No wind can blow my back astray." So I decided to really look up that part of the quote, and I found that it was from a poem, Waiting, by John Burroughs. An excerpt I will now share. "Serene, I fold my arms and wait. No care for wind, nor tide, nor sea. I rave no more against time or fate. For lo, my own shall come to me. I stay my haste, I make delays. For what avails this eager pace? I stand amid the eternal ways, and what is mine shall know my face. Asleep, awake by night or day, the friends I seek are seeking me. No wind can drive my back astray, nor change the tide of destiny." So the right phrase is, "No wind can drive my back astray," which is the topic for our sharing this evening. I know that currently we may have a desire in our heart that we want manifested, or we have some leftovers from January when we made our New Year's resolutions. And possibly some of us have seen the demonstration of something that we ticked off in January. The steps are now being put into place, and you can see the manifestation just coming, evolving as we speak, as the law is building, flooring, and we are able to see the parts just fitting together. Some of us have demonstrations like that. And some of us, delay after delay, other issues keep cropping up, and there is now a sense of frustration. So just take a breath for a while and just simply step away from any desire in your heart now that it's taking a little too long, or possibly an issue popped up during this week and you need something. I was going to say miraculous, but when you really think about it, if the desire is knocking at your heart, it means that you are the channels through which it is to come through. So you're not a stranger to that seed desire that is waiting to be planted in that fertile soil of our body. So I want us to take heart, though, in the statement from Dr. Holmes from the same chapter, Thinking Your Troubles Away, Unlimited Possibilities. It says, "Consequently, the one wishing to demonstrate a specific good must turn to his own mind or his own thought, because his own mind and his own thought constitute the place where he is an individualized center of God consciousness." The poem said, "I stand amid the eternal ways." Dr. Holmes goes on to say, all we have to do is to state our desire, believe it, and let it alone. The hardest thing any man has to do is to learn to trust the universe. We might say it should be the easiest thing to do, but it is not. We like to dabble with our request, pull our prayer back, give our spiritual mind treatment, then steal back to see if it is taking root. In the last analysis, a man must convince himself that he is in league with the only power there is. So Dr. Holmes is trying to tell us something, that nothing can stop the expression of a particular desire through us. You have to believe it and let it alone. So you can join me in this affirmation. What is mine shall know my face. Repeat it again. What is mine shall know my face. In other words, what is my good shall manifest in my present experience. When Jesus Christ, the way shower, stated in Matthew 24, verse 35, and I quote, "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away," end of quote. That is conviction, states Dr. Holmes. First of all, we must have that same conviction. If we do not have it now, we must get it the best way we can. We are to approach this presence simply and directly and easily because it is right here within us. We should, he states, work consistently and definitely to convince ourselves that we are happy, surrounded by an environment of goodness and truth and beauty. Friendship of everything that makes life worthwhile. End of quote. So how do we work consistent? Let us look at the desire again. Why do we want it? Answer that question. Why do I want this particular mood in my life? How will I feel when the desire has manifested physically in my physical experience? Work consistent because no wind can drive my back astray. The poet used the word drive. It means, when you think of drive, you think of force. No force can remove the bark of that hardened exterior of a tree, as the roots are firmly established in the soil. Just as our desire is firmly established by faith and conviction, then nothing can drive it out of our own mind. Nothing can lead us to think otherwise. Because what is mine shall know my face. So no matter how many times a day, we must relapse, clarify the mind. That means move all obstacles, doubts, or fears, and then surround that idea, that desire in our hearts with our love, appreciation, and joy at its demonstration. Love it into being. It is our good. It is for our upliftment, our evolution. So it is ours. We have chosen it. We have selected it. And then let the subconscious just put all the steps easily and effortlessly into place for its accomplishment. I have some suggestions here from John Randolph Price. He said on how to deliberately build up that consciousness, that vibration that will simply outpicture physically as a desired good. He says, our first step is to identify and tune into our spiritual nature. God is I am. So say, for instance, you're thinking of a loving relationship. God is love. Therefore, I am love. That is the first step to ensure that you tune into that absolute, which now outpictures as the effect of your desired goal. He says that the second step is now that you have chosen that desire, it is simply because we already have everything we could possibly desire. So that desire is a spiritual prototype. It's part of the unlimited possibilities that surround us and indwell us. So all you're deciding is this, or selecting, is what you wish to express. So our acceptance is just simply pulling in that spiritual equivalent into our subconscious so we can register a sense of have in consciousness, thus replacing I need. So what he's saying is that second step is to remove us from that separation from the good to the statement, I have this. Because everything for good and highest good is already surrounding us. And what you have done is selected something particular that would enhance that effect flowing from the absolute. So I like that part. Register a sense of have in consciousness, thus replacing I need. With controlled mental picturing, that's visualization. Love it into being, seeing yourself as part of the demonstration of the good. We are simply clearing the path of all obstacles and obstructions and providing an open channel for spirit, which is how God works through us to demonstrate physically the good. No, he says, loving what you see in our mind's eye increases the energy vibration and literally propels substance to move our world into our world, that unknown into form. So it propels the substance, to move in as form into our world. So it is important to keep a deliberate, controlled mental atmosphere in your mind with that seed thought, that desired good in its midst. Then he says we are to speak our word. Gratitude. Speak our word of gratitude. It is done. It is already ours. And then surrender or release, knowing that the Lord is doing its perfect work and you are the channel through which that desired good is manifest, has manifested. You may not see it, but you feel it, you sense it, you know it, you believe it, because it is ours to express. God in us, as us. So, remember first, experience your spiritual nature. God is, I am. And then you go to that important step, allowing the law to work on the impress of that thought, dominant thought or desire. So let us practice a little. Choose a desired good. Loving relationships, you're going to work with God is love. God is substance and supply if you're working with prosperity. God is life. If your perfect life is you're working with health. Right? God is divine order. If your affairs need some straightening out. But the next step, which is important, aligning yourself with that quality of God, that absolute, that is going to manifest through you as a particular effect of that desired good. As love, experience love through loving the relationships, substance and supply, prosperity, wealth, and opulence, which means new car, new home, Whatever, or just a sense of well-being, eh? And God is life. When you think of every cell, every tissue function in your body temple, vitality that flows as everything works together harmoniously for that experience of optimum health, then you see where we're going. So close your eyes and choose now that absolute from which shall spring your desired good. Allow yourself to experience now in your mind's eye that picture of you in the center of that desired good, experiencing the exhilaration, the sense of accomplishment. And that feeling that, yes, I have this. Mine own shall come to me. Loving it into manifestation. You radiate, you glow with this experience of good that is manifesting now. Allow that spiritual equivalent to expand and express in the vibration that now magnetically pull it into our experience. That good has magnetizing power that pulls all the parts together by law into our experience. Feel the joy and the happiness. Wow. Sharing it with others. Know that everything for the highest expression of that God. In pictures just moving through your mind's eye. And now, with gratitude in your heart, just release that desire. Just let it go. Say, yes, I have this. I let go, I let God. And so it is. So, final excerpt from that poem. It says, what matter if I stand alone? I wait with joy the coming years. My heart shall reap where it hath sown and garner up its fruit of tears. The stars come nightly to the sky, the tidal wave onto the sea. Nor time, nor space, nor deep, nor high can keep my own away from me. Namaste. Nothing can keep our good from us and the unlimited possibilities. True, the interpretation of bark is interesting. Eh? No wind can strip the bark from a tree. So it is ours. What is ours to express? Nothing can stop it. Nothing. So friends, it's with gratitude that I'm really thankful that indeed What God is in the macrocosm, I'm in the macrocosm. I can create. Well, they said you're not to say create. The thing is, I'm using the power constructively, efficiently, and beautifully to experience more good in my life and affairs. Yes, Carol. No wonder we have to remind ourselves how great this life is. We can, friends, move forward in our lives without fearing that no matter what comes at us, we'll be able to manage and navigate because that immense power of God is right where we are, simply sustaining us and maintaining us. After all, we are sons and daughters of the Most High, centers of God consciousness. So, each day, twice a day, no matter how many times, let us remind ourselves that my good will always come to me. No wind, no rain, no winter's cold can stop me when spirit is my goal. Wow, I like that one. We start, sometimes we come across some lovely things that we share. Somebody need to keep a record of it because you never know. You may be able to send out a collection of poems. We can always ask a friend of ours in this group how to publish. She has the experience, so she can set it up for us. Oh, God is peace and I am peace. Therefore, only peace can come in through my door. Yes. Vance, do you have any requests for prayer? Let me write them down. Is there any requests in the chat? Any? No. Not seeing any requests for prayer in the chat. Is there any on YouTube, Vance?
Sorry, Reverend Ann, did you see the comment that Carol made in the chat?
That the interesting about bark, I couldn't see all of it. You want to read it? Because
sure. Says the interpretation of bark is interesting. No wind can strip the bark from a tree. Thought of bark as a poetic word for a boat. You know what I mean? I know Spanish, el barco, and that's another way. And the image for me is that of a boat which is kept on its path. Where am I now? I lost it. It's kept on its path despite the severity of an adverse wind. So, same meaning as we hold fast to that dominant desire, despite the turmoil in the environment, as we steadfastly focus our intention on our good. Nothing can prevent it from coming to fruition in perfect divine order. So no wind can blow it from the chosen path.
Thanks, Carol, because that is also another interpretation, which I do like boats. And the fact is that also boats come laden with goods. So when it hits into the safe harbor of your experience, your physical experience, all that good from that boat of good is there to share with each other. I like
there is just one, and I endorse that too. Perfect health for Frankie.
Okay. You want one too?
I always can benefit from health.
All of us,
Yeah.
Seriously speaking, we need to praise the cells in our bodies for what they do. I saw another one a while ago. What did Carol say?
Demonstrated financial success for my event this month. I see it, feel it, accept it.
For Carol's event. Okay, I have that. Right. I have one from the telephone, which is it's saying perfect health also from Pauline R. All right. So that's two I have here.
Yeah.
All right, let us begin. The others will come in. an affirmative prayer of health, perfect health for Frankie, Sandra, and indeed all who can truly appreciate how marvelously created each one of us is. Every cell, every tissue function of our body temple, a reflection of that perfect life that created us out of it. So I know for Frankie and Pauline and Sandra and all of us here, as we acknowledge that perfect life force that is now streaming through our conscious awareness, renewing, revitalizing, regenerating all those cells, vessels, organs as they work harmoniously together. I know that that perfect blueprint that is in the mind of God for each and every one of us is simply now just moving through our awareness. That blueprint of perfect well-being, strength, and vitality. So I know that whatever is necessary for us to receive, if it is not within our body, it comes to us easily, effortlessly, and joyously. Doctors, nurses, wherever we find ourselves, are avenues of expression for that perfect health of God. So I know that as we allow that sense of wholeness and perfection to rise up through our conscious awareness, immediately our body temples reflect and mirror that which is ours to be, perfect manifestations of that holy life of God. Because indeed, each one of us, wherever we sit or stand, is holy ground. God in us, as us. And where God is, there can only be life. There can only be its beauty and its majesty reflected in our body temples. So we give thanks in our hearts as our organs, cells, or tissue work harmoniously together and we experience the wholeness out of which we came. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, that the Lorna receives these words and manifests them perfect. And so it is.
It is. There are two more.
Right, perfect bio.
There is request for them. Oh, I demonstrate perfect outcome in a matter with which I'm involved. That's for Carol Charlton, perfect outcome in a matter.
Perfect outcome.
Outcome. And there's another one. Wisdom, Shauna K. I demonstrate the wisdom and courage that I am. And
demonstrate the wisdom
and courage
that I am.
And for Dawn, the right perfect buyer for Mom's home is already here.
That's there. True. All right, so I have 4. Financial success for Carol's event, right perfect buyer for Dawn, right outcome in a matter, the other C, the other courage. Carol.
Wisdom and courage for Shauna.
For Shauna. Shauna K.
Yeah. Okay.
We start with Carol's event. Truly, we acknowledge that perfect power, that perfect presence in our midst. We know that for Carol, who is staging this perfect event, we know that everything necessary for its success, for its accomplishment, is indeed just simply now moving through our awareness. All the steps that need to be taken are already taken. And I know that every door or channel that is necessary for resources, personnel, equipment are indeed in place. Indeed, I can see in my mind's eye an ambience of beauty and fellowship as persons are now drawn to this wonderful event to share, to experience the culinary talent of Carol. And I know that indeed as they enjoy what is provided, it's just in an atmosphere of awe and wonder as all the taste buds are simply now stirred up to experience the culinary pleasure that comes from good food. So I know for Carol, as she allows her hands and all that is necessary for her to be able to navigate this perfect event, and all who assist her, I know it's with a sense of joy, just knowing that all is well, gratitude, as the fellowship just simply spreads through each and every person that is drawn to event. Success, success, success. And indeed, she's remunerated handsomely. She's paid in advance. And indeed, the orders that come in are fulfilled. And indeed, she sees and feels the prosperity that abounds as the money substance comes in to offset all her obligations. And indeed, there is surplus. Surplus as she goes forth in this new adventure. So we know for her all the success there is, the joy of indeed establishing her business in such a way that indeed she mirrors the joy of the Lord in whatever she does. This is the truth about Carol and her event. Sense of achievement and accomplishment, prosperity and success is hers right now. Release my word to law, knowing that it is so, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Anne.
You're welcome. Perfect buyer for Dawn's house. God is law. I know that this law is even now operating in the affairs of Dawn. I know as this house that is on the market is a perfect idea whose time is now. So we know that this perfect idea is indeed sending out its magnetic forces to pull the right and perfect buy. They are one seeking each other, and that is now fulfilled with the ease with which this transaction goes through. I know that everything necessary for the smooth accomplishment of this sale now falls into place. I know for Dawn as she senses this and all who is supporting her in this moment, I know that it is good and very good. I know all the legal procedures have gone through, and indeed the paperwork is right in Dawn's hand as she celebrates with the buyer. That joy of achievement, that joy of owning this perfect home. And I know that this perfect buyer is already in place for Dawn. And she knows that all is well, all is in divine order, all is good. This is the truth about Dawn. And I give thanks. Indeed, this purchase already gone through. It is successful and perfect buyer. Right in his place. Giving thanks that all this is so, and so it is. Perfect outcome for Carol Charter. Okay. There's one divine activity, God in action in through Carol. I know that this perfect activity, God in action in through as her I know that this activity that is taking place in Carol's life, the right outcome now proceeds into place. All the factors necessary for this easy, effortless completion now takes place in joy. I know that the guidance that is necessary, I know that divine wisdom and intelligence is now operating at its highest possible level in Carol. She's open and receptive to the steps to be taken. Indeed, I know that as the steps are taken, she's impelled to do whatever is necessary as she experiences that quiet assurance and conviction that indeed the outcome is truly her desire. So I give thanks for Carol as everything works out for the good of Carol, as I know that all is grand in her life. So I give thanks, knowing that the Lord now receives these words as the channels are wide open now for the seamless execution of this desire of Carol's. I know that it is so, and so it is. Yes, Leighton, I got that. All right. Shauna, wisdom and courage. As we acknowledge that each and every one of us are centers of God, I know that that consciousness, that awareness, that right where Shauna is, God is. I know that that wisdom, that intelligence that is God, guides her now unerringly, the right steps to take, is impelled to do whatever is necessary to experience its quiet conviction within our heart that yes, I have got this. My own has come to me. And indeed the courage to take the necessary steps, knowing that everything necessary for our highest good is a result of her life up until now. So she can walk with her shoulders up, back straight, in confidence, knowing that as she moves, before she asks, the answer is already provided. And the good just simply just rolls out before her. So when she succeeds, and she knows that sense of accomplishment because she's guided unerringly by the only power, the only presence there is and there can ever be. She knows in her heart that all is good, all is perfect as she goes about her business because it is God's business. So everything necessary for fulfillment just simply flows into Shauna's life right here, right now, and I know it for each and every one of us who are participating in business matters or events. That's perfect accomplishment through us as us is indeed the truth of our being. No wind can drive or bark or boat of good astray. I know that for each and every one of us. And I give thanks for that truth. I release my word to law and know that it is so. And so it is. And our next treatment is for Terrier. That is life. That perfect, whole, complete life. force that is even now flowing through Leighton's mind. I know that wherever Leighton is, God is. Every matter that concerns Leighton has already been perfected by the majesty and power of that infinite power and presence that created all things out of itself and imbued it with its characteristics and its attributes. So the life of God is Leighton. The love of God is even now moving through his awareness, knowing that everything that concerns his heart, his daughter, his affairs, good and only good is the outcome. I know for him that the light of God is the wisdom and guidance that impels him and propels him forward to take the right and perfect decisions. And I know that he's empowered because he knows that he's supported by the only power and the only presence there is. And with that, there is peace of mind because all is well. Life of each and every, especially late at this time. Peace. That undeniable conviction and confidence that gives us a sense of serenity. I know that the beauty of right and perfect, everything fitting into place, is just simply God in all its majesty in our lives and affairs. And the joy of knowing that indeed we are the joy of the Lord, each one of us, especially late at this time, is the assurance that we are surrounded by possibilities of God and only good. So I know for Leighton, as he focuses on career, he experiences a sense of assurance that good and only good is the truth about himself and the truth about his story. I give thanks for this truth. I give thanks that the Lord now receives these words, and indeed, what is ours shall indeed flow through to us. I give thanks that this is so, and so it is. Great. Is there any more? I don't think so. Okay. Sandra, you want to share your screen with us at this time? All right. Every Tuesday, Lorraine Jones Lawrence facilitates her grief support group in the book room. Friends, if you know of anyone who is suffering loss of any kind, please point them to the way of that book room. It is a service and outreach at this time that can comfort each and everyone who is in need of it. So please point persons to that grief support group that meets every Tuesday at 6 p.m. to 7:30 at the Temple of Light. We are also inviting applications for the role of dedicated treasurer to handle the accounting situations at the temple. Please send your resumes to templeoflightcsl@gmail.com. We look forward to welcoming you on board. Virtual Foundations of Science of Mind. We're going into the second class. 10 weeks of discovery and revelation, and it is indeed refreshment, discovery and revelation of things that, we need to know and need to practice. So that class is in its second. We have 8 weeks to go after this one. I think this is the last week you can join. So you'll have to wait for the next round of classes for Virtual Foundations of the Science of Mind. It's really a good class. On a Sunday evening at 2, for those who want to simply just allow the refreshment of your soul to just play out as music. Come and learn how to drum, how to play the guitar. And there is piano lessons as well. So stay around the temple at 2 p.m. and let your curious mind just allow you to enjoy the music of the young people. And if you want to join yourself, anyone who wants to, you can play. They have a good teacher. And next Tuesday evening, join practitioner Sandra Cooper for a wonderful session. You know, Sandy, she prepares and she gives us insights and ways to just navigate this life of ours. So join Sandy next week at 6 p.m. Same place, right here. If you feel moved to support our ministry, please feel free to donate at, donate.templeoflightcsl.org. It has all the banking details of the temple. Thank you always for your generosity and for helping us to remain a beacon of light for the world. And before, if you're about to press that donate button, let us bless our love offering. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. Thank you, Father. And so it is. Prayer of our saint. Please quietly join me with this and just know for our temple success and prosperity as we send our love out to our geographical persons as well as to the world. Prayer of our saint. Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Something is missing. Yes, our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of joy, presence of God, and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and glory forever. And so it is. The prayer for Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women. The truth of life is set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established, and so it is. Peace. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for sharing your consciousness. And the fellowship is always good. A Tuesday evening is truly a pick-up. It picks up where you left off on Sunday and just simply allow that consciousness to go through us for the rest of the week. So thank you. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Lance, and all who has assisted this process. Wow. It is good to be here on a Tuesday evening. I don't know. I can't do without it. Sometimes I miss it, but I really can't do without it. And I can't do without the fellowship of each and every one of us. This is when we really come together, ask questions, and share our awareness of the good that is indeed indwelling each one of us. So yes, thank you for joining us this evening. And remember to join Sandy next week. And for those who are in class tomorrow, remember to do your homework. Right. So have a great week, friends. Please join me in this closing affirmative prayer. Where we acknowledge the might and power, the beauty and majesty of our living spirit in us as us. I know that as we move from this space, sacred space, wherever we go, it is indeed holy ground. And that presence moves before us to ensure that our path is always safe, secure, and easy. Everything necessary for the highest fulfillment of joy and peace in our lives and success is just right now, right within, closer than our neck or neck vein, right in our physical experience. God in action in through us. So I give thanks. Give thanks for this fellowship. Give thanks for this truth that indeed allows us to navigate our lives beautifully and constructively and filled with love and peace and joy. I know this for each and every one of us in this space, and I know it for our community. I know it for Jamaica, and I know it for the world. Every human heart beating with love and peace this evening. God in action in through us. I give thanks for this truth and know that it is indeed so, and so it is.